welcome back to season 2 of Bookvengers. Oh, it's so good to be back.
It's been a bit.
It's been a minute. We took, what, like 3 weeks?
Like 5.
5.
It's been a busy 5.
Listen.
So busy it seemed like 3.
Correct. It's been a while. But we're back.
Happened?
Hey, you know what? We did like 27 episodes before we took our break.
Yeah.
Like, deserved.
Yeah.
Tis
Listen,
the time
TV
of year.
shows are coming out with 8 episodes, 10 episodes.
Correct.
So we're going back to
Here
old
we are.
school 20-something episodes.
And we're coming back with an episode we've been talking about doing for a long time.
Yeah, quite a while.
We are focusing on some indie authors today, which is so exciting because I feel like they don't get the opportunities and cred that they deserve.
Yeah, I mean, we're always seeing the same trad published books.
Yep, and
authors
the same book talk, bookstagram, books over and over, same fan art of the same things. So today, hopefully, we're going to introduce you to some new authors, some new books, and we're going to do a little bit of fantasy and a little bit of romance because, let's be honest, that's what we read.
Yeah,
so,
and some of these authors we were introduced to at our local Barnes & Noble.
Yes, they have Spicy Saturday. I don't know if that is like all the Barnes & Nobles do it, but it should be. So we met a good chunk of them at Spicy Saturday. And full disclosure, we did also have a few reach out to us asking if we would read their book. And we were very honest and said we would read it, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be on the podcast. Because, listen, we can't do it all.
Correct.
So, here we go.
Why don't we start with
fantasy?
Yeah. Now you just read.
Oh yes, let's start with one. Okay, so her name is Elle, Kish, and the book is called Traveler of Heart, and it literally just came out this week.
Wow!
I know. Release week.
That's big.
And I read an advanced reader copy of it, ARC, for those in the know.
Yeah.
And
those in the biz.
This book was very different than anything I'd ever read, especially in the fantasy genre. Of course, it's got certain things that a lot of the fantasy genres have, like dragons. However, first time I've ever read a book with dragon puppies.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Like losing my mind. Okay,
That's so cute.
Let me back up.
Yeah.
So, you know how we complain a lot about how every fantasy book, it's like about an 18-year-old. And we're like, where are the 30-something-year-olds? This book's about a 36-year-old mom.
Love to see it.
She's a mom of 3, and she is recently widowed. She also has ADHD, so I feel very, like, seen. And her family had been collecting, like, antiques from around the world. Like, that's what her husband and her husband's family did. And so after he passed away, she's like running a bookstore and the antique store, and her kids are going to Europe with the grandparents. And so her friend's like, hey, you should go to like this 2-week long like retreat and just like get yourself back together, you know? She's like, yeah, okay. So she's saying goodbye to everybody, and she's cleaning up her antique room, and she finds this mirror. And when she touches this mirror, she like falls into this other world, and she's like, oh, what? And immediately she's like in a dragon den, but of course a handsome man, in his inner circle, if you will. Oh my God. She doesn't call him that, but I'm going to call him that.
Yeah, sure.
Comes to like save her. Of course, we come to find out that this dark stranger is like a prince.
Of course he is. Of course.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, so she's like, okay, I have 2 weeks. No one knows I'm here. I have 2 weeks until my kids are home. I got to get back into this other world. But it's very interesting. So the dragon puppies got me good, because in this world, some dragons are born with like too much power and they're going to die. Oh. They're going to burn out. Yeah. So they come and they like basically steal the dragon eggs from the dragon mom so that they can like take the power out so that the dragons can live. Okay. And then they use this power that they took out to like heal people in their land.
Are the dragons the only ones with the power in this other world?
There's other powerful things, like people have magic, like elemental magic, if you will. But they still can't cure illnesses with their magic. They need the dragon magic.
Got it.
However, when you take their magic, part of their magic, they can't grow to full size, so they stay. And
little
they would have
puppies.
died anyways.
Yeah.
And the dragon parents disown them once they are dragon puppies.
Yeah.
So they become like pets to people, and they will
that's
bond
cute.
immediately with you, and you have this like parental bond with your dragon puppy.
So this is like dragons abound. Like dragons are plentiful.
Dragons are just like everywhere. And they become pets, and they get to the size of
That's
like puppies,
so
and they
cute.
basically become like pets. So you can't like talk to them like you would a dragon rider. Like the full-size dragons can communicate with their dragon riders. But so there's like a
The
war
first thing
brewing.
I think is Blazy from Onward.
Exactly, though. Like, it's like I couldn't stop thinking. Like, every time my cat would come over, I'm like, oh my god, like, imagine if you were like a
so
dragon,
for Halloween,
but like
you're
this
gonna
big.
get them some wings.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my god, could you imagine?
That'd be amazing.
Just like a little dragon following you around.
I would
Get out of
love
here.
it. Sign me up.
Sign me up. So yes, so she's like on a mission to like find her way home. So that's basically what this
love that
whole
it's
book is.
real world and
Real
magic
world,
I feel like
fantasy
that
world. You do get glimpses of like, is this prince like too good to be true? Like, because she's like, I don't know. I've read some fantasy books. I don't know about
the start
this.
of a series.
It's the start of a series.
Do we know how many books the series is going to be?
I don't know, because it literally just, I've already messaged her like, when's book 2 coming? She's like working on it. So I don't know. Write faster. I know it just came out, but it was good. And I love the idea of like, so in the story, there's like 5 mirrors, and you can travel. So that you also come to find out that her ADHD doesn't exist in this world.
Oh.
And the guy that, you know, she's explaining her to them, and they're like, that's so weird. Like, it's probably just that your ADHD is your magic, and it doesn't know how to like manifest. And she's like, oh my god, so do you think everybody that has ADHD like
is magical?
In Earth actually has magic? And they're like, it's possible, because they have humans in their world too, but they're like not from our Earth, right? You know. Right. So interesting stuff. As a girl who has ADHD, I was like, my whole life I've always been like, power. I knew it. I'm just waiting to fall into a mirror.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for my dark daddy to find me.
And she's 36, so like, there's still hope for you.
So yeah, so then there's like oracles, if you will, and they're like, you have 2 doors, 2 paths that you could like go in where everybody else has 1. And they're like, it's probably your world. And like, obviously this like guy was like, stay here with me.
Of course.
But she's like, my kids.
Now, yeah, like what does he think about the kids?
And he's like, they can come here too. You know what I mean? Like, you guys can all live here. Because she's like, my kids are, their ADHD is even worse. She doesn't know who her dad is.
Oh, so you think the kids are going to come through and be super powerful?
I think there could be some things I don't want to say, because it does end on a little bit of a cliffy. So, you know, it's refreshing to read something new in the fantasy world. Here I am cheering for a 36-year-old mom. A widowed mom.
As you should.
As you should.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, because also she's like us, right? So she's like, hey, I've read some fantasy books. I know how this works. Yeah. I know how Fae deals work. Oh. You know what I mean?
Wow, smart.
She's like, hold on here. So, I feel like that would very much be me if I fell into a world like, whoa. Okay, who's the good guy? Yeah. Who's the bad guy?
I've seen this a time or two.
Yeah, I'm not making any promises.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She shows him what a pinky promise is, and he's like, is this like a bond, like for life? Like, am I gonna die? Like, is there a tattoo? Where's the markings? And she's like, no, it's just a
pinky promise.
It's a pinky promise.
You don't go back on a pinky promise.
It's like, you guys are weird.
Listen.
Your world is weird.
Yes.
And she's like explaining to them like, oh, in my world, like, we don't really have trees like this because people, like, humans take over. And he's like, and you want to go back there? She's like, ugh. I mean, if I didn't have kids, I probably wouldn't. But I gotta get back to my kids.
Just little thing.
Minor detail. Mm-hmm. And it's like one of those ones where you're like, yeah, see, this is the problem with children. If my fantasy life came true, I'd be like, well, I gotta bring them with, I guess.
Let's go.
You want to come to my worst world?
They 1000% would be like, dragon puppies?
Dragon puppies. Could you imagine the power my son
oh my god.
would have if ADHD really is your magic, just like needing to get out?
You are a prince. You are royalty.
You are the one the prophecy has talked about. You're going to save the world.
You actually were born in this world.
Correct.
Yeah.
You were meant to be here the whole time. I always felt like that growing up. Like I was meant to.
Yeah.
I felt like Bella Swan. Like I was just meant to be
for something else. Something bigger.
I just don't feel like I belong here. Listen, and I'm 40 and I still feel that way. When's my time?
The night is young. Okay.
The night is young. Who knows? Anyways, let's move on to... Let's Traveler of Heart. Elle Kish.
Traveler of Heart.
Check it out.
It's a really cute book with a dragon on the cover.
It does. It has this gold dragon on it and like these moons. It's very cute. And I love a good like emeraldy kind of book cover.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah, we love it.
Go check it out. Next, we are moving on to
we got sent a copy of this book.
Isn't that cute?
A Clash of Tides by Alivia Maar.
Yes.
And she sent this to us. She was really sweet. She sent us this cute little box with books in it.
Yeah.
And it was, love to see it. And there's another
dragon, but a little different because this is like a sea dragon.
Yeah, and this one takes place under the sea. Mm-hmm. Under the sea. And it's, we got a little Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah, it's very like Little Mermaid coded as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we got like Scylla is one of the characters who is giving Ursula, you know?
Yeah.
Yep, and we have Ivara, and we see her at the beginning, and she has her sisters there.
Yeah. It's giving Little Mermaid.
It's giving Little Mermaid, and one of her sisters has an eel.
Yeah.
And so, again, you know, you're getting all those little...
There's like the familiarity of reading this. You're like, got it. So it's very easy to like fall into the book when you're already like got your mind kind of wrapped around some of the characters.
And it's a dual timeline.
Yeah.
Which at first you're like, how are we gonna
get from here to here?
How are we gonna connect? Mm-hmm. But we get there. Mm-hmm. And so there's the dragon.
Yeah.
The undersea dragon, and this is the power. Yeah. That's where we're getting the power. Mm-hmm. And there's a prophecy, because
we love a prophecy.
There's always a prophecy, right? But there's like an end of world prophecy.
Yeah.
So, you know, for a while you're like, who am I rooting for here?
Yeah.
Which is always fun, you know, because everyone's not quite what they seem. There's a big mystery to be unraveled.
Yeah.
Which I think you'd agree with.
Yeah.
And there's many mysteries, I think, to be... And I predicted one of them.
Congrats!
Yeah, I know. I felt like Janelle in that moment.
Listen.
Like, she always predicts it. But I was like, you know what? I think I know.
And you were right.
And I was right. I know.
Doesn't it feel good?
I texted you like, I was right!
Congrats.
I know, and she's over here like, yeah, duh, Sarah. Okay, whatever. So this is the start in a series, and the way it ends, we're definitely like gearing up for...
Book 2.
Yeah. So one of our characters, she starts out as a mermaid.
Uh-huh.
And then she ends up on land with legs, obviously. We get a glimpse into a love interest for her. Which, the thing is, the romance is not... It's not the forefront. Yeah. You're definitely rooting for... There's a lot of girl power going on. You'd agree?
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because, like, they're mermaids, but they don't age the same way we age.
Correct. So they are, like, 35, 36, and they're still considered, like, kids. And then, like, at the point that they're, like, adults, they're, like, 80.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is...
Yeah.
Wrapping my mind around a new world.
Yeah.
And I haven't really read anything that takes place under the sea.
Me neither.
Right? So I was like, this is a very... I would say kudos to Alivia for taking on, this is like to write a world that is straddling two vastly different locations, and like really I was able to visualize, you know, these mermaids and the dragon, and so I give her a ton of credit, because that cannot be easy to...
No. And you're right. I don't think I've ever read anything else that took place underwater. I've read things that were like pirate, like on the water.
Like we got like Percy Jackson, like
correct,
going into
like
the water,
sea
but
monsters, like, you know, but like never under the water. Like I've seen, you know, Atlantis, Little Mermaid, all the different things, but I've never read anything like that. Yeah.
So definitely, I would say give this one a look-see.
Yeah.
It is the start of a series, so I'm not sure when book 2 comes out, but I do want to say thank you to Alivia for sending us this. That was so nice, and Again, very cool color.
I really like the cover.
Yeah.
And you had me at dragon.
I mean,
give me a dragon. Give me a dragon.
all day.
All day. I'll never get sick of dragons.
No. So Clash of Tides.
Speaking of dragons. Oh, okay, wait. I have to show you. Where's Laura's book? Okay. So, Luna Laurier, we met her at Spicy Saturday.
Yes.
And her series of Shadow and Moonlight, okay, for those of you watching on YouTube, it's stunning.
It's beautiful.
Like, it's gorgeous. I actually have the whole series.
Yeah.
And they're all this beautiful. This is another one where the girl, okay, so I am, full disclosure, not done yet. So I can only give you so much info. But
you can give us a little taste, a little
I
teaser.
can already tell that I love it.
Yeah, fair.
So it's like our female character, she's sick. Like, she's going to die. She's not doing well. But then she meets Damien. And does that not immediately bring you to, like,
absolutely.
Nostalgia, bad boy?
Absolutely.
And he's like, hey, let me show you the magical side of life. I'm talking nostalgia. There is vampires, and it is sexy, steamy.
Right out the gate. I mean, you're getting steam
Listen,
all the way in.
I can't show you.
But there's
I can show this one. Okay, I can't show all the fan art.
There's illustrations in the book,
in the Kindle. Yes, so this is like the original one. She just recently this month came out with like the updated version of this, and in the Kindle version it does have pictures.
Is this on Kindle Unlimited?
It is on Kindle Unlimited. But I will say,
a Clash of Tides.
She gave us some fan art that is full of everything you want to see. Highly recommend.
Not suitable for work.
Highly recommend going to her website.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever get the chance, she's at a lot of the conventions. Like, she'll be at Romanticycon and Alexia, and like all around the country. She goes to a lot of these conventions. Look for her because she has a full size like body pillow cover of
she sure
Damien.
Does. She sure does.
It's hot. I'm just gonna say,
in
if
all
you're
his
looking,
glory. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even done with this, but I will say, I'm getting red. I will say it is steamy. It is spicy. And
so she was a good placement for a Spicy Saturday.
If you like vampires who maybe sucking blood can be a sexual thing. She was the best one for Spicy Saturday in terms of fantasy, because I can't wait for you to leave so I can keep reading. But, okay, check it out. Of Shadow and Moonlight, Luna Laurier. She's fantastic. She's also just like the sweetest human being ever as well. So I love to support that. But this was not gifted, fully paid with my own money.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
It was a good purchase. She's a good purchase. Can't wait to finish her.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might be the spiciest fantasy I've read so far.
Ever?
I think so.
Ever?
I mean, what's the spiciest fantasy you've read?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like Fourth Ring had some spicy scenes. Silver Flame had some spicy scenes. But like, you don't get like a ton of spice with these type of fantasy. I'm sure they're out there and I just haven't read them. But
wow.
I'm going to say like 3 to 4 chili peppers so far. I know.
Yeah. I mean, I would consider Broken Bonds like that.
I haven't read that.
Yeah, I would consider, and that's.
And I'm like, even Zodiac, it's not that. I mean,
but for a first book in the series,
correct.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Can't wait to read more.
In the second book is out already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And there's a novella.
Oh boy.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to keep going. So,
speaking of romance and spice.
Yay! Let's get to... Okay. Are you going to start with Chelsea?
Let's start with Jennifer.
Okay.
Who is also real spicy.
Okay. Have you read any Jennifer Chipman? So we met her at Spicy Saturday as well.
And I think that she kind of like was the ringleader to put together
Spicy believe Saturday. She is.
Yeah.
I've seen her. She was also at the Barnes & Noble one where we met Lauren Roberts.
Yeah.
I do think she's a big, so she's an indie author herself, but she's also a big supporter of like getting other indie authors like noticed and out there. And I
want to
think,
say she's putting together a con like next year.
Yeah, I think that she's the one that got spicy sick. I could be so wrong about that, and if so, I'm so sorry. But yeah, this I know that I don't know which one you got, but I got Gracefully Yours, and it's basically about two best friends that make like a marriage pact.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, if we're not married by, I can't remember how many years it is. I want to say it's like 5 or 6 years that they will end up getting together. And it's, it's one of, I love a friends to lovers romance. I know.
That's what you're
I know some people don't, but I do. God, I love it so much. And I think maybe it's because Corey and I started out as friends that like just makes sense in my mind. But I also can't help but like I look at my daughter and my son and I'm like, what if you guys fall in love? Like, you don't even know it. What if you're just like innocent kids now? But like, what if Meryl and Cooper?
Oh my God. And then we'll play this podcast clip back at their wedding.
I know.
And they'll be so embarrassed.
I know, but
stranger things have happened, okay?
That's
a lot of tropes.
I know. And it's always like, the like brother's best friend's brother, or the, whatever. I love it. I just love the idea. And I think it's because I had so many crushes on my friends' brothers too growing up that I was like, oh, we're only 3 years apart, but he won't even notice me. And his eyes are like way too young,
They're all listening now being like, I had a chance.
So you're saying I had a chance. Yes, if you would have looked at me when I was in 8th grade and just given me one little moment.
Too bad. Corey got there first, okay?
I know, and we have an age difference. So again, had I met him when we were younger, he wouldn't have even thought anything of me.
No.
But she is spicy.
She's spicy.
Yeah, going back to spicy.
Yeah.
She's spicy. I find way more spice in romance than I do in fantasy.
Absolutely.
Which I feel like is a given.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with romance that has like no spice. If I'm going to read romance, you either need to wow me with the build up, the slow burn to the romance. You know who did it great?
Emily Henry.
Yeah, but I was going to say Divine Rivals.
That too.
Like you're going to have, but Emily Henry's real great with like, what was the most recent book where they kissed?
Funny story.
It was like leading up to their first kiss and I was like, who knew a kiss could be so hot? And that when I say like spice, it doesn't need to be like
explicit.
Yeah.
But
I need to kick my feet.
Yeah.
I need to be giddy. I need to be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I want.
Exactly.
But she brings the spice.
Yeah,
It's explicit spice.
Yeah. She has I read Spookily Yours of hers,
which
is
I wanted
like
to
a
get
Halloween,
that one.
like
that'd
really
be
cute.
Perfect for now.
Yep. And
we should
then
do
the second
a
one
podcast
comes
next
out.
week of like Halloween reads, fall reads.
Yeah. And then Wickedly Yours is the second one in that series.
Oh, it's
and
a
that
series?
one just came out. Yep. And then I had read her, I think I arc read for A Not So Prince Charming, which is like a Cinderella retelling. And it's like, but they're in college.
Yeah.
Type deal. And that was really cute. And honestly, I just saw, I think this released probably a couple months ago, but you know how I've been saying, I want a sci-fi romance. She literally has one called A Love Beyond the Stars.
Stop! Oh my God!
So I feel like I need to read that because all I've been asking for is a sci-fi romance.
Truly, the fact that you pulled this up and I'm just realizing that this book, Gracefully Yours, is number 4 in a series and I didn't even know.
Yeah.
It was a series. Yeah. That means I need to go back. So the first one is Academically Yours. Yeah. Then Disrespectfully Yours. Then Wickedly Yours.
Fearlessly Yours.
Oh, wrong one. Fearlessly Yours, then Gracefully Yours.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. She really likes to use the word yours.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Well,
and then this looks like a Christmas one coming out. Alphemies to Lovers.
Okay, so here's what we need to do. We need to do fall reads, like spooky reads. We can bust that up and do a couple categories, but then we got to get into Christmas reads because there's so many. We need to start that in November.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God.
Oh my God, look at us coming up with a plan for the next podcast coming out. Guys. Stay tuned for good things, guys.
I'm telling you. I've been sitting on Megan Quinn. I have an arc of Megan Quinn's Christmas one that I've just been sitting on, just waiting to start because I'm still in Halloween, but I know it comes out in October, but I want to read it before the release.
I know.
Because by mid-October, I'm kind of ready for Christmas.
Well, we live in Florida.
Correct. We've been doing this since
Halloween
August.
started in
you know
August.
What I mean?
Like, by October, I truly am like, let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's go Christmas. Okay. Wait, we have, I think, two more authors we want to talk about.
This is another
Grace Reilly.
Spicy Saturday that I read. Grace Reilly, First Down. This is like a college football.
Wait. Can we show her?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, this is fine.
That's fine.
Okay, honestly, another perk to going to these, if you can find any, like, Spicy Saturday or indie authors that set up, is they often have fan art that they give you for free, and whoo! Some of it is intense.
Some of it needs to stay.
So this one's First Down, and it's a football.
Yes, it's a football.
It's a football
college romance. They're like seniors, so it's like older college. Because sometimes I feel like I need them.
Sometimes you're like, oh, that's
the brink of adulthood.
Especially because my stepdaughters are 21 and 18, and I'm like, ooh, this is getting weird now.
Yeah. One thing that I did like about this one is I am a person that when I finish a book, like, I love a little epilogue.
Oh yeah,
I like to see.
I like to see their happily
so
ever
this one
after.
had an extended epilogue.
No.
So I finished the book and I was like, oh, but wait, why do I have so many more pages left? And it's like a decently long.
Like, does it go through their whole life?
It goes up to like they're like into adulthood. Like
they have kids. They're married. That kind of thing.
I think like up to getting engaged.
Yeah.
Which I
love that.
Which it's like sometimes you don't want them to speed through to the engagement. It's not real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This show's like a little bit like...
I always had wondered that. Like, so you're telling me like in 4 months these people went from like hating each other to they're engaged? Let's be so for real.
Is this BYU?
Correct. Oh, no, she didn't.
I'm just...
It's very on trend right now.
Listen, it is.
Okay, so is she spicy?
Yeah.
I feel like all of these authors that we met, they are freak leaks. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like,
there's no closed door.
They look so sweet.
The door is wide open.
They looked so sweet. Like, meeting them, I was like, oh my God, you guys are so cute. You know? And then I read their books and I'm like, excuse me?
Mm-hmm. It reminded me of, actually, this is we're taking a left turn.
I love a left turn.
So I just was telling you that I read, before we started recording, I just read like an old series by Megan Quinn.
Yes.
I think it's the Getting Lucky series or something.
Yeah.
And one of the side characters, because Megan Quinn does just such a good job with quirky side characters.
Queen of side, yeah.
One of the side characters is a romance author. And so she writes every day in this cafe in this specific chair, and everyone in the town calls it her sex chair.
Oh my God.
And so like all I can think is these authors are just like sitting somewhere just straight faced, just writing these sex scenes.
I know.
It's
I can't even talk about it without getting like red.
I would be like, no one look at me.
And like I live for them.
Like when Megan Quinn like post those TikToks where she's like has to try if things work. And she's like,
okay. Megan Quinn is not an indie author.
No.
Ignore this.
So sorry.
Is there ever an episode where we don't bring her up? I'm convinced. But that being said, we're meeting her.
Oh my God.
I'm going to lose my ever loving mind.
There will be no chill. It's going to be so embarrassing.
There will be no chill. I don't even know.
Like, I'm going to talk to her as if, like, we're best friends.
I'm going to be like, do you remember this conversation we had? And she's going to be like, yeah.
Yeah, and we did our book club. Yeah, remember? Uh-huh.
Anyways, let's get to Chelsea.
And you know what? I have a feeling that a year from now, we're going to see her...
best friends with
Megan? With a trad published deal.
Who, Chelsea?
I have a feeling.
Chelsea?
Yeah, I feel like she has the potential to be taking off, especially with this last book that she just released.
Oh my God, I have to show you. Can I show that? Or is that too...
I mean, you can see...
You can see things.
You can see things. So Chelsea Curto, we met her at Spicy Saturday. That was the first introduction.
You guys. She is next level spicy. Mm-hmm. I cannot. The fan art. You know what? Like, DM us. I don't know. Would that be porn? Would I be sending porn?
I don't know.
Go to her website or something and check it. Message Chelsea. And ask her for some fan art.
Because this series caught on camera, camera chemistry, and behind the camera.
Yeah.
And then a fourth one just came out that I read too. What is it called? Off Camera.
Yeah.
And there's a fifth one coming out too, Camera Shy. The first one is a novella. So even when I met, she was like, you don't have to read any of them first. Like, it's a novella. Like, she wasn't even selling that one at this point. She was selling that one.
Yeah.
And, but this is a series, interconnected standalones.
Yeah.
And,
which I love because you really can read them in any way.
This one I really liked because he's an NFL coach and she is, I think, a pediatrician or a doctor.
And it goes, like a video goes viral.
Yeah, they, on Kiss Cam. And they're best friends. And they're in their They're in their 40s.
Another thing that I'm like, yes, because you know who knows how to do it better? People that are experienced.
People in their 40s.
People in their 40s. Do you know that that's when women hit their prime? Just saying.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. So,
and then that one, after that one is behind the camera. And that is this coach's niece and the kicker, the NFL kicker, and he is a single dad.
Listen, football has started.
And she's the nanny.
Yes, it's football season. Get into it. Caught on camera. Or any of these. You
and
can
then
read them in
off camera he is the social media manager for the team.
Yeah.
And he is rivals with another social media manager on another team, and they end up meeting not knowing that they are. And you know how this goes. But what I like is all the characters. One of the characters you get introduced to is, because all these guys are best friends. So it's like the social media manager, the NFL kicker, and this hockey player.
So it's like very similar to hockey player.
There's a lot of there's similarities, but this face-off is what has taken off. Like she's gotten like a ton of ratings and reviews on this fantastic. One.
She's probably going to get. So here's my thing: we keep finding these indie authors that are so good, and then they're not indie authors anymore. Then they get picked up.
They get picked up, and I'm looking forward to the second book, and then it gets pushed because traditional publishers.
Looking at you, Penn Cole. When I finished the third book, I got so excited because I was like, oh my God, it's only 3 weeks.
Couldn't have squeaked out book 4.
It was only 3 weeks until the final book came out, and I finally got the ending. But then she got, picked up by like a trad publisher.
So
which
happy
is so
for
great.
her.
So happy for you. But now they're like, going to make me wait 1,000 years. So, hey, Chelsea, when you get picked up, can you, I don't know, maybe send an arc our way or something?
Oh my God. So, but I need to talk about, I think I might have already talked about this one once, but I'm going to mention it again.
Do it again.
Face Off. He is an NHL hockey player. She is the first female NHL player. Yeah. And she's joining the team. He's the captain. Their initial meeting, they're both meeting at the coach's office, and she's waiting outside, and he walks up and hits on her, thinking that, like, not knowing who she was.
Obviously,
he blew off all of his tape that he was supposed to watch for this new player, and hits on her. So a little bit of a rocky start. Yeah. She's prickly, and we love that.
We love a prickly hair.
He is literally just the golden retriever, like the sun shines out of every pore of her body.
As much as we talk about like, oh, we love a bad boy, I ended up with a golden retriever in real life, and I love a golden retriever. It's what we actually all want.
Absolutely.
As much as we say like, bad boy, but like we want an ooey gooey cinnamon
someone
roll.
Who is going to worship you.
Correct.
And think that you are the
most
best thing
loyal
since sliced bread.
Correct.
Yeah.
I want loyalty. I want someone to just bow down at my feet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a dog.
When you say that you're thirsty, there's a drink in your hand. When you say you need, that you're not feeling well, he goes out and he buys the pharmacy.
Do you smell what I smell right now?
Yes.
Because my husband just made banana bread.
and he made sure that the dings were done before we started recording.
So, role play the bad boy, but get yourself a golden retriever cinnamon roll ooey
Buy
gooey
the
love
mask
bug.
for your golden retriever.
Correct. It can be Halloween every night in your bedroom.
There you go.
But during the day, I want you to clean the house, get the groceries, and support me.
Yeah.
No big deal. Anyways, Chelsea. Curto? How do you say your name? Curto? I'm going to say it's Curto. Feel free to correct me, Chelsea.
Yeah. I signed up for the arc for her next book, so I hope that I get it. That would be
super good stuff. Yeah. So that's like a little amuse-bouche into some indie authors that we are currently vibing on.
Yeah.
If you have any, and I know you do, please give it to us. Give us all the recommendations. Who are the indie authors that you're loving, the books you're loving? Because they need more representation.
They do.
They do.
You never know which indie author is going to be the next
big thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, some of the best stories are probably out there that no one's even reading.
Yeah.
So, go read them. And tune in for our next episode where we deep dive.
We're finally going to talk
a little Fourth Wing. But specifically, the new Xaden chapter. Ooh,
yeah.
It's going to be good. So see you next week and welcome back to season 2 of Book Bunches.
Bye.
Bye.